Are our schools and universities relics of the past? This is not a small question. It strikes at the very heart of how we prepare our children for a world that is changing faster than we can imagine. We have built an education system for an industrial age that no longer exists. It was designed to produce compliant workers, people who could sit in neat rows and follow instructions without question. This system valued conformity over creativity and standardization over individual talent. It operates like an assembly line, moving students along by age, batching them together as if their most important feature is their date of manufacture. But our children are not products. They are living, breathing, unique individuals. The world today does not need more factory workers. The jobs of the future, and indeed the jobs of the present, demand something entirely different. They require people who can think critically, who can collaborate with others, and who can solve complex problems. They need innovators, communicators, and creative thinkers. Yet, what do we see in our schools? We see an obsession with standardized tests that measure a narrow sliver of human intelligence. We see a curriculum that often sidelines the arts, humanities, and physical education, the very subjects that cultivate imagination, empathy, and well-being. We are still teaching children to find the single right answer to a question at the back of the book, when the real world is full of ambiguity and multiple solutions. Does this system truly nurture the skills our young people need? Think about the qualities that make us uniquely human. Our curiosity, our creativity, our ability to connect with one another. These are not optional extras. They are the core of our capacity to thrive. Yet our educational institutions often seem designed to suppress these very qualities. We tell children to sit still, to be quiet, to stop daydreaming. We penalize them for coloring outside the lines. In doing so, we are systematically educating them out of their creative capacities. We are training them for a future that is already behind us, leaving them unprepared for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The fundamental structure of our education system remains stubbornly unchanged. Students move from bell to bell, from one disconnected subject to another, with little sense of purpose or connection. We separate subjects into silos, maths here, history there, as if knowledge is not an interconnected web. This industrial model is not just inefficient, it is profoundly damaging to the human spirit. It suffocates the natural love of learning that every child is born with. We must ask ourselves if this system is still fit for purpose, or are we clinging to a model that is failing our children and ultimately our future? For generations, we have been told a simple story. Go to university, get a good degree, and you will secure a good job. This piece of paper, the degree certificate, was seen as a golden ticket. It was the ultimate currency for entry into the professional world. It promised security, status, and prosperity. Many people still believe this story with unwavering faith. They invest enormous amounts of time, energy, and money into acquiring this qualification, often taking on staggering levels of debt. But we must have the courage to ask a difficult question. Is this currency still worth what it once was? Or is its value beginning to fade in the bright light of the 21st century? Employers are starting to look beyond the degree. They are discovering that a certificate from a prestigious university does not always guarantee that a candidate has the skills they actually need. They want people who can adapt, who can learn on the fly, and who can bring fresh ideas to the table. A degree might show that you can memorize information and pass exams, but does it prove you can collaborate on a complex project? Does it demonstrate resilience in the face of failure? Many leading companies are now dropping degree requirements for certain roles. They are more interested in a candidate's portfolio, their proven experience, and their demonstrable skills than in the name of the institution on their diploma. The world of work is no longer a stable, predictable ladder. It is a dynamic and often chaotic landscape. The idea that you will train for one career and stay in it for life is a fantasy for most young people today. They will likely have multiple careers, many of which we cannot even envision yet. In this context, what is the value of a degree that certifies knowledge in a field that might be transformed or even become obsolete within a decade? The focus must shift from what you know to what you can do with what you know. It must shift from static credentials to dynamic capabilities. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is now the most critical skill of all.